guys, welcome to Demeter's Way. Behind us we have our 15-gallon composter. It has two chambers, one for holding materials and one for starting your compost, or at least that's how I use it. And we are going to start composting today with all the materials we have here. We have some older flowers from bouquets I've received, and here's also some tea bags and scraps from the house. We also have some eggshells. I'd previously been using these for egg water, but now that I've reused this and refilled it about 20 times, I'm going to go ahead and put these in the compost because these eggs have given all the protein they can give, and it's time for their shells to start helping out. I'm going to walk you through getting your compost ready and getting everything going so you can hot compost and have beautiful organic material to feed your garden. So what we're going to get into today is building your compost inside of a tumbling composter. This really applies to any composter, except this makes it easy because it spins, which is absolutely fantastic for rotating because compost does need to be tended to. If you're not going to do it in the ground and till it twice a week, you are going to need to tumble this every single day. If you also notice, there are aeration holes in here, which I can either block or open. That makes sure that our compost is getting as much oxygen as it needs to go ahead and get those things starting to decay. So I am going to start by putting in my nitrous and carbon heavy ingredients. And if you will refer back to my post about compost on the Demeter's Way page, you will see that there needs to be a 2:1 ratio and the list of those things that you can choose from. That is not an exhaustive list. It is just a list of examples. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it is that I use and that I do. I tend to use old dried flowers because it's such a shame to let them go to waste. I used to hate to get flowers because they would die. But I have another part of the life cycle for them. They're going to become part of my garden. So we're going to take all of these dead flowers. Some of these are newly dead, so they're not as crunchy. Some of these other ones are from like Valentine's Day I've been collecting. But just to make sure that you get these in here, because that's nice dry material to go into your compost. Another thing that you can use, and this is on the other side of the list, so those are my nitrous ingredients. Carbon ingredients are things like eggshells, something that has a nice protein to it, things that you can break down. Newspaper, brown paper that comes in your packaging, stuff that does not have ink on it though. You want to get some of this in here, but remember it's a 2:1 ratio, so we need way less of this than we need of the flowers. And so for every 2 to 3 stalks of flowers I'm putting in, I'm going to put in 1 eggshell, and that's going to make it even. And so I will show you what we have popping when we come back. Just take a quick inventory of what we have in the composter. We have our vegetable scraps, which are the ends that we cut off the potatoes, that dead flowers. So we're up to 2 on our nitrogen. Now let's go over to carbon. We definitely have that shredded brown paper. That's carbon. Okay, we're doing good on our 2-in-1. What else is in here? We have some loose tea bags, and we also have some grass clippings. So that's 2 more nitrogen. And what else do we have for carbon? Eggshells. So we're doing really good on our 2:1 ratio. I only really want to fill this up about a quarter of the way until I start getting things really breaking down. And what's going to help is I'm going to just dig some soil out of my yard to give it a medium to kind of cover it, and then I'm going to soak all of this down. You do want to wet it, and then we're going to spin. So once I get my soil in here and I wet it, I'm going to show you what it looks like after I spin it. So once you get it all mixed up, it should look like this. Very nice and wet, no dry patches. You shouldn't see dry brown looking dirt. all of your things should be mixed. You really shouldn't be able to distinguish one thing from another because you want this to be well mixed. You don't want to have stuff in sections, and that's why I recommend a tumbler, because otherwise you have to do this by hand with like a pitchfork or your gloved hand, get in there and mix it all up, which I think I am going to do just a little bit because I saw some of the flowers sort of starting to clump with the mud. Just kind of run it through your fingers. And it doesn't have to be extensive because you will be turning it again or rotating it again. So this is compost. We are going to slide this lid closed, and we'll turn it every day.